I want to see how many books I can get through, like from start to finish, in the span of a 24-hour period. No. Now, I'm not saying that I think I'm going to be able to read all of them in 24 hours, okay? I'm not saying that, but also, maybe I am. Let me show you them real quick. Here they are, very edgy, very freaky. So here is my dog. First says it's too cold out here, Freckles, and then he's like, oh, Freckles, really gay. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Whoa. We would explore and live and love. It's giving live, love, laugh. It's not your fault, girl. You're the victim in this. He's just an idiot. That's so terrible. No, wait. Okay, I'm calm. I don't care what brand his boxes are. He still sucks. All I'm gonna say is leaking. Ew. No. I'm losing my mind. By the end of it, I was like, please stop smashing. Now listen. I feel like you're just watching my descent into madness. But that's okay. I am so excited. Hello, my name is Sophie, and welcome to Reading for 24 Hours Straight as a Slow Reader. Yay! This certainly isn't an original idea on my part, but I did get a ton of books for my birthday, and I needed an excuse to read them. Sometimes you just need an excuse to read a load of books that you got for your birthday. I'm just a girl. You can't blame me. I've seen loads of other people do these videos, obviously, of reading for 24 hours straight. How many books can I read in 24 hours? All that jazz. And they seem to get through so many freaking books. Like hundreds of freaking books are being consumed in these 24 hours. And as someone who is a very slow reader, that feels quite unattainable to me. I don't know if I would ever be able to do that. So I figured I'd give it a go. I did do a little search on YouTube, and I only came across one other video titled, How Many Books Can I Read in 24 Hours as a Slow Reader? And that was by a creator called AlexVenturer, but I'm not sure if I pronounced that name right, and I apologize if I got it wrong. But they were finishing a load of books that they had already started. So the plan is, I want to see how many books I can get through, like from start to finish, in the span of a 24-hour period. No. As someone who classes themselves as a very slow reader. I don't know what the definition of a slow reader is, but I would say I'm a pretty slow reader. I cannot skim read for the life of me. I have to read every single word. I'm one of those people that's like, ooh, did I get the energy of that scene right in my head? Let me go back over it and read it again multiple times just to make sure, you know? So I would say I get through books pretty darn slow. At the same time as being a super slow reader, I also suffer with the ailment of having absolutely no concept of time. And I tend to hugely overestimate how much I will be able to achieve in a certain amount of time. So I really could not tell you a prediction for how many books I think I could possibly get through in this 24-hour period. Have not got the faintest, but I have got all of the books I got for my birthday here with me. Now, I'm not saying that I think I'm going to be able to read all of them in 24 hours, okay? I'm not saying that, but also, maybe I am. Let me show you them real quick. Here they are. Here are the books. There's quite a few. I don't know. What are we thinking? Oh. But yeah, this is the maybe, I don't know. Never say never, you guys. If you hear any strange noises as well, my dog is currently on my lap and she snores really, really loudly. So I apologize on her behalf. So my plan for this video is I'm going to start a 24-hour timer, and obviously then I'm going to start reading. But whenever I need to pee, or if I need to make food, or anything that I'm doing that makes it harder for me to read a physical book, I'm going to put an audiobook on. Obviously, throughout the day, my plan is to just read physical books. But like I say, sometimes you got to use the bathroom, and a girl does need to eat. So during these times, I'm going to have an audiobook on. And then if I have to stop for any other reason, like talking to my parents or my sister, which sometimes you've got to speak to your family. Sometimes a girl has got to communicate with her loved ones. During those times, I will just pause the actual timer. So then, in theory, I can say that I have read for 24 whole hours. The audiobook that I'm going to have on in my ears is called The Breakaway. It's by Cindy Gunderson, and it's part of the Campus Confessions series. From what I read in the description, it's about this girl who moves in with her boyfriend and his best friend, who she hates. They hate each other. Anyway, then the boyfriend has to go away for 2 months for sports. I don't know. So it's just her and the best friend.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure nothing untoward will happen at all. So that's the audiobook I'm going to be listening to. Okay. And the physical book that I'm going to be reading to begin with is Insatiable by Lee Rivers, which I believe is like a dark stalker romance. Very edgy, very freaky. You know, I was thinking, I'm starting this challenge. Why not begin with the one with the most insane vibes that I could possibly find? And that was this baby here. Even the cover is just quite disturbing, really. So I feel like this is going to be an insane time, and I'm really excited. I will try and check in about every 4 hours. If I finish a book before 4 hours, which I can't imagine will be the case, but if I was to finish a book before 4 hours, I would check in then. Otherwise, I'm going to do every 4 hours a little check-in, tell you where I'm at, tell you how many pages I've read, what I'm thinking of the book so far, both of them, the one that I'm listening to and also the one that I'm physically reading. And I will also check in every time I finish a book. Yeah, that's my plan. I have a variety of drinks with me to keep me hydrated. I've got my water, I've got my coffee, I've got my green tea, which I really need to take the tea bag out of because that is oversteeped. If I know anything, that is oversteeped, and there's nothing worse than an oversteeped mug of green tea other than a cold, oversteeped cup of green tea, which I know from experience. And I don't really like green tea anyway. So anyway, I have my drinks, I have my books, I have my dog. I'm gonna start the timer now. Literally, let's do it. So here is my dog. Aww. She's sitting with me while we do this. How cute. Her name's Miffy. Say hi. Okay, so the time right now is 11:33, and I am gonna start the timer. Boom, let's do it. If he can't have her, no one else can. Cade Mitchell is obsessed with someone he despises. A snake in angel's skin, Stacy Rhodes is everything he can't have. The girl who shattered his heart and drove him deep into the darkness of the underworld. He's watched her for years, killed anyone who came close to her, but now, with a brief moment of freedom from the life he's trapped in, he's back home and ready to reclaim what's his and break his every rule. Not even his hatred can stop the pull between them, but he'll never forgive her. Will he? This is gonna be wild. Oh. Okay. Enough. Let's do it. You guys, there's a playlist. I didn't realize there would be a playlist. I didn't know any of these. I know From Now On, from The Greatest Showman. Oh, and I know Do I Wanna Know, Arctic Monkeys. Do I wanna know if I spin both ways, sad to see you go. You know? Anyway, lock in. I need to lock in. Oh, already she's not like the other girls. He punched an officer. OMG. He's just like your stereotypical 15-year-old. He's like,
I'm such a rebel. Nobody gets me. I'm such a rebel. My family sucks. I just want to smoke. I'm such a rebel.
what's up?
Hello. You're so pretty, yes.
Bro's gonna have lung cancer before he's 20. Goodness me. He's 15 and he smokes like a chimney. Someone take the cigarettes off of him. Whoa. No. Immediately the nickname of Freckles. Bro, be original. Bro says, it's too cold out here, Freckles. And then he's like, oh, Freckles, really, really, Cade? Oh, that's so embarrassing, bro. OMG, she smokes as well. Okay, the time is 2:23 p.m. I have 21 hours and 36 minutes left on my timer. So, I need to stop for food because I actually can't think straight. I am currently 86 pages in and it is insane. It's actually insane, but I will give you more thoughts when I'm capable of thinking a coherent thought because all I can think about is pasta. Yeah. Anyways, gonna go and get some food and pray she shuts up. Yay. Okay. I have my food. It's a bowl of pasta. It's here. I'm very excited to consume this. While I was making it, I was listening to the audiobook. I'm not that far in. I'm only like maybe 10 minutes, if that, in. But it sounds good so far. I think I'm enjoying it. It's a lot more tame than this one. Much more wholesome. The boyfriend's a hockey player and she's like a musician. She plays violin. They seem really in love right now. There's a couple red flags for sure. We'll see where this goes. I'm intrigued. I think I will read a bit more of Insatiable while I'm eating though, because I am super invested in where the hell that's going. I have quite a few thoughts about that book right now, but I think I will wait until we get to like the 4-hour mark, or at least until I've eaten, so that my thoughts are a little bit more comprehensive. Yeah, because I've got major brain fog going on right now. So gonna eat first, and hopefully that will clear that up. And then I will be able to put my thoughts into words slightly better because I have a lot of them. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it. I feel disturbed. Anyway, I'm gonna eat now. Hey! So, it's 10 to 5 now. I ate lunch and then my parents got home and now I've migrated back to my room. We still have 19 hours and 45 minutes left. So we really need to get back on that grind set. Update on the audiobook. I'm a bit further through now. I'm enjoying it, but I am concerned. I don't want to like give any spoilers, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I'm concerned about where we're going with this. As it says in the description, her boyfriend moves away and then she's left with his best friend who she supposedly hates. But I'm concerned that there's going to be some discrepancies there, if you know what I mean, between her and the boyfriend's best friend, and that doesn't sit well with me. So I'll keep you updated on that one. But in terms of this thing, goodness me, I'm on chapter 14 now, so that is 122 pages through, and it is crazy. This trilogy might be considered darker than the pits of hell. Good start. Insatiable has numerous themes, such as exhibitionism, possessive and toxic behavior, praise and degradation, breathplay, play, probably too many hand necklaces, and sex next to its body, as well as having graphic, sexual, and violent content with mentions of pregnancy loss and attempted suicide. It also has more potentially triggering material. Then it gives a link where you can find more of the trigger warnings. I'm going to put a note here, actually, right now. These are the ones. I'm going to write them out and I'm going to put them on the screen. Make sure you're okay with consuming content involving all of those things. Brace yourself for them. Go into this book with your wits about you. I'm not going to say I'm enjoying it particularly, because let's be honest, like, she's just being on the reg, and it makes me feel really sad for her. And then he is also being assaulted on the reg, and then I feel really sad for him. So it's like, ugh, both of them are just having a really rough go of it. Bear in mind, they're both like 21. They're really young, and this has been happening to them since they were like teenagers. Both of them. They've both been in these awful situations since they were like teenagers. And I just feel sad for them. But we'll see where it goes. Things have certainly started heating up between the two of them, if you know what I'm getting at. But yeah, I'm gonna lock back in now. I need to shut up. Stop yapping. Right, let's do it. You guys, I need to read you this sentence. With no context, no context. We would explore and live and love. It's giving live, love, laugh. That's really tickled me. Before we would explore and live and love. And laugh. Did you miss that off the end? Oh, man. That really made me giggle. Oh, there's one other sentence I want to read to you as well. Oh, I glance at Barry, who's watching with a raised brow and waiting for me to speak, his fingers hovering over his laptop. Are you smiling? He asks me. Don't do that, it's weird. Barry's funny, I like Barry. What in the world is going on, you guys? This is actually ridiculous. One of my least favourite tropes is like the miscommunication trope, where despite the fact that someone has been with someone for ages and ages and ages, they will see something happening, jump to a conclusion, and then be like, this relationship's over. You're a terrible person. Make all of these assumptions when actually, if you just let the other person explain, who you supposedly love and have known for years and years and years, then maybe actually it wouldn't be what you thought. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, do you really want this relationship to work if you're so willing to poo-poo the whole thing because you saw something and jumped to a conclusion that hard? It really annoys me. Let her speak. And then maybe you wouldn't be in the position that you are right now, tortured and depressed. Maybe then you wouldn't be hating your life because she broke your heart. Maybe your heart wouldn't need to be broken if you just freaking listened to her. He's pissing me off. Also, he is such a child. He just ignores her. Like, constantly. All he does is ignore her. She's like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Blah, 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 blah. He just ignores her. So rude. So rude. If you were going to ignore her, just don't come into contact with her. Do you know what I mean? Don't take her to the airport. Don't pick her up. Just don't. I would rather get an Uber than sit in a car and feel as uncomfortable as she feels right now. This isn't a love story currently for me, because all that is happening is he ignores her, then they like nearly bang, then he goes back to ignoring her again. And she's just like blaming herself for everything. It's not your fault, girl. You're the victim in this. He's just an idiot. Oh, I feel so bad for her. I don't like this guy at all. I don't think I can get behind it if they get back together. I really don't. Yeah, no. Oh, you better stick to that, girl. He should never be able to touch you again. Stop talking to him. Girl, stand up. Yes, Barry. Yes, we love Barry. I actually hate him, not Barry. Sorry, Barry. I would never hate you, Cade. Hate that guy. Hate him. Ooh. That sentence is horrible. No, wait. Listen to this. Oh. Cade! I exclaim in horror, turning to apologise to the guy, who nods to me and returns to his usual seat in the corner. I slam this tit's laptop shut. This tit! I slammed this tit's laptop! No! No! That is so funny! What the heck? Oh. I can't even begin to process that. Oh, don't talk to me. No, that's so funny. Okay, I'm calm. If you've read this book before, page 143, pissing me off. Pissing me off. Also, don't tell Barry to F off. Don't speak to my baby girl like that. Nuh-uh. I keep forgetting her name is Stacy. I don't know why. It just falls out of my head. And then he says something and calls her Stacy, and I'm like, who's Stacy? Oh, wait. Oh. I don't care what brand his boxes are. He still sucks. Ooh. No. All I'm gonna say is leaking.
Ew!
No. That's not it. It's just not it. No. No. Oh. Okay. Whatever makes you happy, guys. Oh, stop doing that. That's not how it works, please. Oh, okay. I thought we were done. We're not done, guys. Okay. No, not Barry. Please, stop threatening Barry. I love that guy. Time for an update. It is now 10:10 in the night. And I am determined that there will be no sleep until I have finished this challenge. Right? Sadly, we do still have another 15 and a half hours. So don't ask me where the time's gone, because I honestly don't know. I ate dinner, and while I ate dinner, I listened to some more of the audiobook. It is very good, but I am just getting increasingly concerned. But I do also think that she should just dump her boyfriend. I won't go into any more detail, but I am enjoying it. Just concerned about how this end situation will arise. And I honestly couldn't tell you how far I am through that book. I think I'm over 2 hours through it now, but I am listening to it on 1.25 speed rather than the regular speed, which isn't super fast, but insatiable though. We are having a time. I feel like I am having emotional whiplash with this freaking book, especially because I'm reading it all in one go. I feel like you would know from like the trigger warnings at the beginning that there's going to be some pretty freaky stuff going on in here. And obviously I did go into it with that knowledge, but I just can't quite get past the doing it next to an unalived body. Really doesn't sit right with me. And then she's all like,
I hate you, rah rah rah.
and then she's like,
Oh, but he's just so hot, and I just have to have him now.
and I'm like, girl, stand up. I beg of you. But then at the same time, she's been through so much trauma. She would need so much therapy, and she's not getting the therapy. Currently, where I'm at right now in my headspace, I'm gonna need to read something a bit lighter after this, because I am traumatized. So I'm losing my mind a little bit over that. Losing my mind slightly more because this is a trilogy and I only have the first book. So I will be really upset if there's not like a solid conclusion to this. And I'm not sure there will be, because I am on chapter 30 of 39. So we're coming to the closing chapters of this book now, and I just feel like we've been going back and forth. That's another thing, is I feel it's quite repetitive, in that we've just been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth this whole time on this same cycle of they hate each other, then they bang, then he's like, no, you suck, and he like says a load of really mean things to her again, and then she tries to explain the situation that has made him hate her, but he doesn't listen.
because she doesn't deserve to give him an explanation, blah, blah, blah.
And then she's really upset, you know, and she doesn't talk to him. And then we just start the cycle all over again. It's like, oh, just keeps going and going and going and going, the same cycle over and over again. And it's getting a bit tiresome. I'll keep you updated though. Gonna lock back in. If I do not pause this timer once more, I will be finished at 1:47 p.m. tomorrow. And it's interesting because nobody's forcing me to do this. I'm just doing it for the love of the game. Anyway, I'm gonna crack open a coffee. This is my coffee. I'm losing my mind. And oh my gosh, now I'm running low on storage. Great. No. Don't joke about Barry around me. Not my baby girl, Barry. Girl. Girl, you have no idea. 5 Guys. Not the food chain, unfortunately. I wish. I am hungry. No, I don't know, bro. I don't know you. It's been 284 pages. Don't ask me these questions. I report to you now with incredible news. At the hour of midnight, and also nearly halfway through my 24-hour book reading challenge, I have finished my first book. Applause, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty disappointed that I haven't got through at least 2 at this point, but we live and we learn. I did say that I didn't have any idea of how many books I would finish, and I did also say that I am quite a slow reader, so I feel this is just proving my point. But Insatiable is done, and thank God. My lord, I am exhausted, and I kind of wish that I hadn't read this one first, because I just feel a bit traumatized now, to be honest. Final thoughts on it. I definitely think it would be worth me making a slightly longer video discussing my thoughts further, but not to go into it too deeply. I thought it was quite repetitive of that cycle that I mentioned earlier. I feel they did a whole lot of banging and not a whole lot of communicating, which frustrated me because I kind of wanted the plot to move forward. Just because every time we got a smidge further in the plot, we then had like a 10-page bang fest. And that got old pretty quickly for me. By the end of it, I was like, please stop smashing. Now I feel I'm gonna have to get the second and third book because I want to know what happens in the actual plot. We probably could have finished the book in one book if we had just skipped out on some of the banging. Not all of the banging. A bit of banging, fine. Go crazy, you guys, you know? But the amount that was in here was just a bit like, guys, please. Especially when, like, he supposedly hates her and all that. I don't know, the whole thing felt just a little bit shallow for the depth of the issues that it was bringing into it. I felt like we should have been going a bit deeper with those rather than just doing all of the banging. But, alas, that is not what happened. And also it did leave on a cliffhanger, which is so annoying because I don't have any of the rest of the series because I wasn't sure if I would like it. And I don't think I really did, to be honest. But am I going to have to get the other 2 now? Yeah. Yeah, I am, because I need to know what happens. So, I'm feeling a bit beaten down after this first book. I'm not going to lie to you. My spirits are low, but I do have a packet of chocolate buttons waiting for me that I think I will consume. And after this, I think I need something a bit more upbeat. And I'm hoping that my next book choice will provide that. At least from the cover, it certainly seems like it is going to be a bit more positive. So my final thoughts on Insatiable were, I'm traumatized. I'm also somehow bored. Was it even entertaining? I mean, it must have been, because I'm gonna get the next one. So it must have been entertaining to some degree, but it's kind of like watching a train wreck and you just can't look away. Just the plot was so repetitive. We just went over the same thing over and over again. I was like, guys, please. But then at the same time, there was so much happening. So it's one of those, you know, where I feel like we were definitely, stuff was going on, but we weren't really getting anywhere. You know, like I say, I think we probably could have fit the whole trilogy into one book had we just cut out some of the banging, which I just don't think was all that necessary. Because, like, in the flashbacks, they were banging. And then in real time, they were banging. And it was like, whoa. I was just a bit overwhelmed with all of it, I think. Let's move on from that one. We need a palate cleanser. And as a result of this, the next book I'm going to read is The Pairing by Casey McQueeston. And I don't know if that's how you pronounce the surname there. I really apologize if I got that wrong, which I probably did. But look how cute. Look also.
Wow.
Look. That is so freaking cute. I love it. OMG. I'm very excited about this one because this is the same author that wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue. And that is one of my favorite books. So I'm so excited to read this. I will read you the blurb so that you know what I'm getting into here. And then we're going to get straight into it because we're on like 2 p.m. finish now. So I really need to lock in and stop pausing the freaking timer because it's paused right now so I could yap to you. I'm dedicated. Okay? Right, let me read this blurb. Theo and Kit have been childhood best friends, crushes, lovers, and after a brutal breakup 4 years ago, estranged exes. It's not until they're trapped aboard a tour bus that Theo and Kit realise they've accidentally booked the same European food and wine tour. And now they're stuck with each other for 3 weeks of the most romantic sights and sensuous flavours of France, Spain, and Italy. But it'll be fine. They're absolutely over each other. So, when Theo suggests a friendly wager to see who can sleep with their hot Italian tour guide first, Kit is game. In fact, why stop there? Why not a full-on European hookup competition? But sometimes, a taste of everything only makes you crave what you can't have. Ho ho ho! This sounds like a good time. This book is 406 pages, and I've just looked and it doesn't have chapters, it just has locations. So, we're not really looking that good in terms of finishing another book after this one. How embarrassing would that be? To call myself a book lover, but to only be able to finish 2 books in the span of 24 hours. That's 12 hours a book. Technically, I actually still have 14 hours left on my timer. So if we really lock in, we could possibly get this done. But we'll see, to be honest. I don't know how much focus I'm going to have now. We're deep into the night, you know? But I am going to crack open those chocolate buttons, and hopefully that'll help me focus a little bit better. But yeah, I think I'm going to get straight into this one. I'm really excited. And hopefully it will be a little bit less traumatizing and there'll be a little bit less banging next to a unalived person in this one. But never say never, I suppose. Now listen, I know I look a little bit different from the last time that we saw each other, and that is because I washed my face. And I figured I'm not sleeping tonight, so I might as well slap an eye mask on to try and stop my eyeballs from falling out. I listened to my audiobook while I was doing that. I am really enjoying it. Still concerned about where it's going though, but we'll see. But yes, this is an intimate moment for us because I've never had no makeup on camera before.
Aww.
And please refrain from judgment. I know I look a bit like an egg without any mascara or anything. It's the perks of being a natural redhead. So this is me in my natural state with the Winnie the Pooh t-shirt, as you see right there. Anyway, I am gonna crack the frick on with this book. I've read about a chapter. I'm intrigued. I like this. All has got a lead foot. Yo. Hello. I look terrible right now. And I'm really sorry about that, but it is in fact 3:30 in the morning. Yeah. I have cracked open the dairy milk buttons. Look at these babies. I now have 11 hours and 30 minutes on my timer, and I am currently 56 pages through my book. I am loving it. I will tell you, this author, their books are so easy to read. Like, the banter between the characters is always just so, it flows so well. I am giggling the whole time. They're so well written. It's very scenic because obviously it's like a European food and wine tour. So the vibes are great. The characters are hilarious immediately. I love how like awkward all of Casey's characters are. They're always just a little bit awkward, but in a good way that is relatable, you know. Gonna log back in now. I feel like I'm a good chunk down. Now that I look at it on camera, it looks pretty pathetic, but it feels like a bit more in my hand when I'm holding it right now. So, wish me luck. Hey, it's the daytime now. It is 7:37 in the morning. Wow! And I have now got 7 hours and 46 minutes left on my timer, which is just so exciting. I feel like we've made so much progress. I'm coming up on about halfway through this book, so I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to finish it before the 24 hours is up, and I'll be really bummed if I don't. I am about maybe just over halfway through the audiobook. Thoughts on the pairing? I'm loving it. It's really good. It's just so fun. The vibes are just great. I don't know what else to say. It's so like scenic and cutesy, and like I feel like I'm on holiday with them. Obviously, there's still emotional turmoil, but sometimes you just gotta have a bit of emotional turmoil, you know? I'm feeling pretty delirious. It got to the stage where at about maybe 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, I had to start reading out loud so that I didn't fall asleep. I'm really looking forward to going and getting a coffee, maybe have some breakfast. I will put my audiobook on while I do that. But yeah, I'm just going to crack straight on because now we're on 3 p.m. as a finishing time. I feel like you're just watching my descent into madness. But that's okay. I don't understand how I'm only like halfway through the book though. In my brain, I'm thinking we should be coming to an end now. Like, and I'm not even halfway through. So I wonder where we're going to go from here. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, onwards and upwards, you guys. Let's continue. Wow.
Theft.
This is so weird. This is crazy. Ooh. Now we get it from the other person's point of view. We haven't had this the whole time. We had the beginning here. We had the beginning from Theo's point of view, but now we're having the beginning from Kit's point of view. This is going to be interesting. Bruh. Communicate with each other. I beg of you. I feel like
like I'm just in a repeating cycle of miscommunication. How can we still be so far away from the end? I'm scared. What is gonna happen? You guys. I'm afraid.
Okay, guys, the time has come. This is our final 4-hour update. We have literally just under 4 hours left. So that's so exciting. Woo! I am so excited. Definitely not looking my best, but please don't judge me. Let me tell you where I'm at. I'm so nearly done with this book. I can definitely finish it, 100%. And if I don't, then what the frick? I am on page 353.
Yay!
So I've got just under 100 pages left. And I am still really enjoying it, loving the storyline, still loving all the banter and everything. But I will say that I am starting to find the descriptions of the things a lot. Obviously, they're going on this tour of Europe, and all of the places are described like really well, but possibly too well, for my personal opinion. I know lots of people really love to have the really flowery and in-depth descriptions of the scenes and the world around them and stuff, but it's losing me a little bit. Describing all of these places and all of the food and all of the wine, like everything is so detailed, when I'm getting lost in the source slightly, and I feel like we could do with more plot, less description, just in my personal opinion. All that to say, like, the actual descriptions are beautiful, and the fact that I've nearly been up for 24 hours, I've been up for over 24 hours. I haven't slept in over 24 hours now, I can confirm. Wow. The room is spinning just a little bit. That probably hasn't helped. The lack of sleep probably hasn't helped, because it's a lot to wrap your head around, you know, with all of the descriptions and stuff. But I think even if I had a full 8 hours of sleep, I would still be finding it just a little too in-depth. There's a fine line, isn't there, between describing something well and then over-describing it. And I feel like we're in the over-describing it a little bit. And that is taking away from my enjoyment of the book a bit, just because I'm reading it and my mind's just wandering as I'm reading all of these descriptions. But the actual plotline is great. The actual plotline is so good. Do not get it twisted. I love the plot. I love what's been going on so far. I do wish that they just communicate, though. Not gonna lie. Just talk to each other. Talk to me. Anyway, going to lock back in for this last just under 4 hours. The time is currently nearly 12:30. I'm so ready to be done with this. I am just over halfway through the audiobook, which is where I was before, pretty much. But I'm thinking, if I can finish this, then I could see if I could finish the audiobook. And then I can safely say that in the 24-hour period, I finished 2 physical books and 1 audiobook. That's my hope. But at the same time, I'm not sure it's really going to be possible, because I've still got 4 hours of the audiobook left. Well, I don't know. If I really lock in, maybe we can do it. I'm going to give it a go. Nobody's here to stop me. Let's do it. The final stretch. I just finished it, and let me tell you, it was touch and go for a second, but in the end, I really enjoyed it. Phew! I still stand with what I said earlier about the descriptions being slightly over-description-y, but I understand what the author was going for, and ultimately, love the storyline, love the characters, loved the characters. Oh my gosh. Nobody does characters quite like Casey does. Much less traumatizing than this one here. So that is our second book, officially. We have just over 2.5 hours left on our timer, and I need to get some food because it's 1:45. So think what I'm gonna do is make some pasta, and also listen to my audiobook. And then I'll assess and see how much time I've got left. I will be back to you in a bit. Okay, so it's just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still haven't slept, which is very sad, but I have eaten, which is great. And while I was eating, I listened to some more of the audiobook. Still very good, still very concerned about where it's going though. I'm just hoping there's no nefarious activity. But anyway, I have an hour and 22 minutes left on my timer. So I am gonna crack out this bad boy. This one is The King of Wrath by Anna Huang. It is the first book in the Kings of Sin series, which I believe are a bunch of like billionaire romance books. I'll read you the blurb so we know what we're. I'll read you the blurb so we know what it. I'll read you the blurb so we know what. I'll read you the blurb so we know what it's about. She's the wife he never wanted, and the weakness he never saw coming. Ruthless, meticulous, arrogant, Dante Russo thrives on control, both personally and professionally. The billionaire CEO never planned to marry, until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with a woman he barely knows. Vivian Lau, jewelry heiress and daughter of his newest enemy. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is. He'll do everything in his power to destroy the evidence and their betrothal. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Elegant, ambitious, well-mannered. Vivian Lau is the perfect daughter and her family's ticket into the upper echelons of high society. Marrying a blue-blooded Russo means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money family. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of a dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst thing she could possibly do. Fall in love with her future husband. You guys, I am low-key hallucinating. I keep thinking that there are birds flying at my window, but it's just my plants. My sanity is rapidly decreasing, but that's okay, because you know what? This sounds like a banging book. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. Let's get this last hour over with, because I need to wash my hair, and I'd like to do that before the night, so that I can get to sleep at a reasonable hour, because I need to take my grandma shopping tomorrow. None of these are things that you ever wanted to know, but alas, now you do. Let's do it! I'm also going to have another coffee, but wait, it's like an extra strong one. It says it there.
Oh, wow!
What are you? Why are you strong? Let's do it.
A playlist. Look at that. I'm so dirty, but your love so sweet. Interesting playlist. Ooh, chapter 1, Vivian. Hey, girl. Hey. He did not RSVP, yes. But the rules of RSVP do not apply to him because his name is Dante.
You guys, it's over. We've done it. My timer's just gone off. It's 6:20, the day after I started this challenge, and I still haven't slept. But that's it. The time is up. My thoughts at the end of all of this are I am tired and delirious, but I did have loads of fun.
Yeah!
Before I go too deep into any of my thoughts on this whole experience, I'm gonna wash my hair and make myself look slightly more presentable for the outro. We've had our bonding time. You know, you got to see me in my egghead state, but I think that's enough now. I think I want to look presentable for the outro at least. So I will be back shortly with a summary of my thoughts. Okay. I'm so tired. Hello. It is the next day. I have slept. I have washed my hair. I have eaten food. I feel like a new woman. And I'm here to discuss our final conclusion from my 24-hour reading challenge. which did end up with me not sleeping for considerably more than 24 hours. But we live and we learn. I had a great time, if I'm going to be honest. Yes, I was mildly hallucinating by the end. Yes, I did fall asleep on the toilet. And yes, I do have a banging headache this morning. But would I do it again? Yes. Why, yes. Yes, I would. I'm very disappointed by the amount that I managed to read. Now, I'm not saying that I think I'm going to be able to read all in 24 hours, okay? I'm not saying that. But also, maybe I am. Let me show you them real quick. Here they are. I did manage to read a couple of chapters of The King of Wrath. I'll put here how far I actually got through it. It's downstairs right now, and I'm not going to go and get it. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I do think, why is every like rich billionaire's name Dante? Not sure about that, but I feel like it's going to be a good time, if you know what I mean. I think it's going to be silly, it's going to be goofy, it's going to be fun. The other two books, Insatiable and The Pairing. Insatiable, no. No Insatiable, please. But I am going to have to get the other two and read them. So let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on those. I think I am going to make a longer video on my thoughts on Insatiable. And The Pairing was just a fun time. It was beautifully written, very scenic, very nice. I feel I talked about my thoughts about them as we were kind of going through. And the audiobook, I have finished that now, but I didn't finish it within the 24 hours. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't finish it within the 24 hours. I think I got like 2/3 of the way through, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Would recommend. My fears, I did not have to worry about my fears. You guys, I was so relieved. So that's so good. I didn't have to be concerned, and neither do you. But I would recommend that one, 100%. But yeah, I don't really have much of a conclusion to really come to here. What have we learned? Probably get a decent amount of sleep, just in general, if you don't want to hallucinate. I am definitely a slow reader, which is sad, but it's not something I didn't know. And there's only so much banging in any one book that any one girl can take before she just gets a bit bored. I think that's the end of the video, to be honest. Thank you for spending the past 24 hours with me. I've had a great time. I hope that this was entertaining for you. I've never done a video like this before, so I'm not sure how I'm going to edit it or anything, but I'm hoping it's going to come out well. I don't really know what I was yapping about towards the end. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Probably wouldn't recommend this to a friend if you value your sleep, but I don't know. Let me know if you want me to try this again and see if I can read any more, because I really feel this is something I can improve upon. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like if you wouldn't mind. And I don't know, I feel like we reached a new level of friendship because you saw me with my pajamas on and an eye mask. So I think that just means you have to subscribe. Thank you again for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!